Hello, my name is Paul Constable-Calcott. In my community, I'm known as Uncle Paul because of my work in disabilities and as recognised as an elder. My cultural connection is through the Wiradjuri people on my father's side, and my mum was an Irish woman whose family immigrated out here. My painting today is called Seven Spirits, and what this painting talks about are the issues around being a LGBTIQ plus Aboriginal person living with a disability in Australia today. This story talks about here, this represents the dreaming. The dreaming is our history before Anglo-Australian settlement, and then here is where it connects and suddenly changes to today's dreaming stories and the difference. These symbols here, this is the symbol representing a person. The U shape is the shape we leave in the sand after getting up. If you're a person with disability, you leave a different shape to everyone, and that's it there. The pink dots through it represent that you're a member of the LGBTIQ plus community. Now, to change the terminology from that, we use the term seven spirits. Most Indigenous cultures believe there are more than two genders. There are actually seven. So we call this the seven spirit dreaming story because it represents those seven genders. This here represents a person and how community is turning their back on many of our young gay people, our seven spirit people, because of the influences of Western religion and beliefs has actually caused some barriers between families, between young gay people connecting to their family and community. This one here represents the seven spirits, the seven colours of the rainbow, representing the seven spirits surrounding and supporting that person. This here talks about that if you're an Aboriginal person who's of seven spirit culture, you're still very much a minority within the mainstream gay community. If you're a person with disability, you're even further out. That makes you a minority within a minority within a minority, which has a huge impact on self-esteem and resilience. Over here, but it's some positive news. This represents the Australian government and how that they've introduced the law of legalised same-sex marriage. And this had a huge impact on community here, where they've started the conversation with people and started to look at different ways to support our seven spirit people living with disabilities. Over here, that same-sex marriage debate and the subsequent ruling making it now legal had a huge impact where people are now more fitting in, more blending and more part of the community. Although if you are a seven spirit person with a disability, you're still very much on the outside. This part here represents a very sad part of the story, where our suicide rate of our youth is more than 3 times that of the non-Indigenous community. There's no real research done as to why that suicide rate is so high. The age group statistics tend to lead us towards the fact that it could be a lot to do with people trying to deal with their sexuality and the lack of resources and supports in remote communities. But overall, it talks about some positive stuff. At least we're starting to talk about these conversations and we're starting to talk with the government. All these different colours of the background represents the diversity of our community, the different language groups, the different cultures and the different areas across this beautiful land. So that's my story, and I hope that it starts a conversation. Thank you.